Welcome everybody, François Letarte for JDR D30. And in Ramble, I'd like to bring a subject that I have opened up in French, in my French part of my channel, so I thought it could be, if you'd like, a good point for conversation, or even though just food for thoughts. And it will be about weirdness into role-playing game. And I will talk a little bit about the NSR. This is some sort of a movement in role-playing games under which some role-playing games are regrouped. If I think about it, I think I'll put the link of an article that I've read. Okay, NSR is some sort of a movement. I think it's a new school revolution or something like that. Anyway, you can read that, but there are some games into that. And some of the characteristics, the attributes of those games, two of them that I will name looks like what we found in OSR, simple game system and deadly. But the other one is weird. Okay, those games have to be weird to be in there. But I think weird can have a lot of meaning. It could be being very inclusive about bringing up some ideas that just maybe don't fit a standard setting. Maybe there are two games that falls under this movement that you might know. One of them is Borg and the other one is Troika. Okay, and both of those games have those three attributes. They are simple, they are deadly, and they are weird. And Troika, I know this game for a long time. My friend Tim Rudolph, sent me a PDF a while back, and why he sent that to me is because I'm very fond of advanced fighting fantasy. So he found out this game that has the same game mechanic, a little simpler than advanced fighting fantasy, but you have the classic skill, stamina unlock. Okay, so it's basically the same game system, but the main difference is the setting. The setting is completely weird. All the laws of physics are upside down. There's nothing normal in there. Everything seems to be weird, and I think it's the main tropes of that game. And Borg, from what I've heard, seems to be a little bit like that. Well, the illustrations, all the graphic presentation of those games really suggests something out of this world, and out of mainly everything we saw in role-playing games so far. They have very unique presentations and illustrations, and the way the things are drawn. There's an artistic endeavor behind that. I think it's one of the main points. I'm not particularly attracted to those games. I'm not saying no to try one of them, but basically I'm not very attracted to them, and probably I'll tell you why. Both of those games, and I don't know other games that might fall under the NSR. The NSR is not really the main subject, even though I talked a little bit about it, but it's the weirdness in role-playing game. Okay, how do you handle weirdness? Because those two games, it feels like too much weirdness. That's my feeling. That's pretty much why I'm not very attracted. If everything is weird, what's the point? It becomes the norm. So it's hard to surprise your players. There can be surprised by bringing up something completely new to them. But when you live in a world where everything is not as it should be, if your characters comes from those worlds and they are used to that, for them it's normal. There's something that weirdness that just don't attract me. And it's not, I'm not saying that these are not good settings or not good games, but that's my feeling. But nevertheless, maybe I should just try them with some game masters or really into that, and probably I'll see it differently. But from my point of view, from the outside point of view, it feels like everything seems so much weird that it's hard to bring something that will really stand out. But I like weirdness, okay? And I think it's a good tool, okay? I like to play pretty standard settings. You know, I'm not the kind of game master or player. You know, my taste goes into pretty much standard stuff, but with a little crack in the door to give permission to have some weirdness come into that. It's easy, you know. If you have a little bit of magic allowed into your setting, let's say we take a normal contemporary setting, something that is being held in 2022, but in your setting there's the magic exists and there's a little chance that there can be magic. I think it's a great occasion to use the weirdness just to surprise a player, just to have something that stands out actually, and have the players figure out how to deal with it because they don't know what it is. Okay, I feel that weirdness it should not be the norm. It should be occasional stuff to surprise your player and have a big impact into the game. I love to get weirdness around. If weirdness is about bringing a monster, you know the drill. Basically, you don't have to build a monster from scratch. There you can just take an existing monster from your catalog of monster and just reskin it with the new look of your weird monster and just attach to it one or two powers, crazy powers that you feel that should be right for this monster. You know what I mean? It's easy to do that. It's easy to just let you go. And I feel it's easier to work weirdness that way in a setting that weirdness is not, being weird is not the norm. I have pretty much fun into doing that. I don't abuse that, but it comes quite often, and I think the players are enjoying it. Okay, they're enjoying it, all the upside down effect that it brings into a game. Yeah, so weirdness. How do you handle it? You know, are you into those games that weird is being the norm? I think that Numenera was kind of like that. I've never played it, but from what I remember when I informed myself about that game, but I don't think it's NSRs because this is the rules-like game. I think it's a little crunchier than that, but nevertheless, what do you think? How weirdness is being handled in your game? So that's pretty much what I had to say. François Letarte for JDR D30, and up to next time, I hope you have as much fun in your life as in your games. Goodbye.